Welcome back to part 2 of Masquerada, Song and Shadow. I've decided to continue playing the game, so may as well record it while I'm doing so. I don't believe it's like a super huge long game, and I'm going to keep playing it, so why not record it? It's not like one of those, Rage 2 or Fallout 76 games where there is a stack of kind of additional side content that's just the same kind of grind over and over again to level you up or anything. Or at least that's my understanding. So we've got the last one, which is we need to go and meet with the glassmith who lives in the Quiet Order.
Cicero,
Lucia,
I see you've already made some new friends.
part of the investigation.
Ah, so the old man took my advice.
Your advice?
After what happened with Corvus and Elfina, nasty business that was. Anyway, he sought my opinion and, well, here you are.
So you're the one I have to blame. Why weren't you put on the case?
I'm too valuable.
Sure.
Subtext,
Where
we
are you
aren't.
off to?
The Quiet Order.
Excellent. We can travel together then.
You too.
Come on. I'll tell you on the way.
So you told the Vestas to call for me?
It was either that or do it myself. I think the choice was clear.
So what did we just get? We got some more news about... Yep, that's from last time. I think the guy's hiding something. We knew that. Inspetore. Some in the city believe the Inspetore are shadowy figures enlisted to perform dark deeds for those who've consolidated power in the White Spire. Other believes they are simply regenti well trained in the media. Neither is completely false, but it is reductive. Simply men and women who conduct investigations for the Verone. The investigations are varied in nature, just as the Inspetores are. Some are esteemed diplomats, while others spend their days searching for missing people of great import. Whatever our duties, one thing is certain, they're not individuals you trifle with. Fair enough. Talk yourself up, why don't you? And apparently there's another gameplay. Oh, the stances thing. Yeah, we remember that from last time.
And the others?
Well, Elfina and Corvus are that, which leaves 5 of us. Darius and Pasha are off in Altamir spying on the Zealots. Riva's down in Rune investigating the murder of one of our diplomats, and you, well, you were farming.
So you don't know anything about the case?
I know the Regenti Razatov is gone, and I know that we lost 2 good inspectores trying to find him.
And you wanted me to be the third?
You were better than all of us, Cicero, you know it.
I don't know. Let's just go.
Just waiting for that conversation to finish before I moved on. In case it didn't continue on this screen. That was an exciting run across the map to go out again. I remember that sort of thing from things like Baldur's Gate 2, dating myself, and Baldur's Gate, the first one, for that matter.
Sorelli.
Calvin,
Calvin. You're brave, standing on White Spire soil.
you say it as though there is something I should fear.
Certainly not. Not out here, at least.
Ah, there you are, sir. I hope everything is well.
It is. Get the coach ready, please. We've got places to go. Mariner, maybe you'd like to follow the twins. Get acquainted?
Please go away.
Rather obedient bunch.
What's this about, Lucia?
What
Don't tell me you just happened to be in the spire.
happened, well? Have I ever told you about the beggar who was too astute for his own good?
Lucia,
He dies at the end of the story.
you have. Many times.
The mask runners are getting stronger.
What do you mean?
They've taken over the Quiet Order. That's why I'm headed there.
Since when?
A few weeks ago. 5 years this war's been going on, Cicero, and those worms have only gotten stronger. I need to find out how.
That's why you encouraged a Vestas to bring me back? So I could be your resource? I have a case to solve.
Cicero, please. You're the only one who...
The Quiet Order, go.
A ride would have been nice.
We're a grumpy cuss,
So,
aren't we?
Mariner. Mariner.
Are you trying to say something?
Why do they call you that? Do you sail out onto the belt often?
Not anymore.
Oh, well, you used to?
Before I settled down.
Settle down.
I'm in charge of an orphanage now.
With children?
No, cats and dogs, I'm sure.
Oh, I love animals. What?
Eyes on the road, Toads. Elena, please stop bullying your brother. And Ricardo,
Yes, sir?
just keep going. You both stay here. I'll come find you when I'm done.
Okay, more information about some of the characters. So we've got a third piece of info about Colden, sorry. He runs an orphanage, yep. He's kind of heart, which makes the fact that he's harbouring a secret even stranger. What mysteries could a guardian of the innocent want to conceal? Well, lots of them, honestly, depending on how good a guardian of the innocent he actually is. And members of the registry, is it? There was another one, I thought. Others? No? Okay. Well, sure we got one for her, but I don't see a glowing tick box saying there is a new piece of information to look at. Oh, there it is, Lucius Syria. Though we've never admitted it, there is a hierarchy among the Inspetore. Pasha was the best diplomat, Riva was the best fighter. Lucia was a good fighter and decent diplomat. She had a keen mind, did fairly when tasked to predict foreign economies and established trade routes. She wasn't particularly phenomenal at any of them. She was talented, but she wasn't special. There was something about her that drew us all to her, and we suspect got her rank as Inspetore in the first place. She was committed. She was the hardest working by far. She knew she wasn't as naturally gifted in certain areas as some of us are, and she made up for diligence, and in the end she turned out to be one of the most reliable Inspetores. Humble and persistent, she never adopted any pretenses and was honest about her work. Which is why I'm so surprised at her manipulation of me. I might have been a little harsh. After all, can anyone who renders assistance be considered a resource? Perhaps I've just been away for too long, forgotten what it feels like to be part of the city. With regards to Lucia, however, I suppose I cannot say that I am surprised she has changed. 5 years may not constitute an age, but the change that a few years of the potential bring is not underestimated. Hopefully she's still mostly the person I knew stored assured, and hopefully I'll be able to find some time between the end of this investigation and my return to the Valley Fields to catch up with her. And learn that she killed my brother, or if I didn't already know.
So this is the business you were talking about. Lucia told me about it.
You met her? We've been expecting her. She's supposed to help us find a way in.
She got caught up with a few things. Should be on her way.
And you're here for...
The investigation. There's someone I need to see inside.
I'm afraid that's going to have to wait. We've got Portieri pushing all the walls we can, but the mask runners... I think our men are just getting tired.
How did you lose it in the first place?
The Portieri that managed to get out say that the mask runners just appeared from the streets. Happened too suddenly. They lost the ward overnight.
Well, I'll see you later.
I suppose you will.
The longer we wait, the colder our lead.
Who said anything about waiting?
You did.
I said I'd see him later. Nothing about waiting in that.
The Quiet Order? Doesn't always jump to the most logical place, does it? Tessero, the White Spire, the Quiet Order. Doesn't always tell you exactly which one's new either. Named after the disposition of its residents, has since its inception been home to those of the registry who work from cloistered corridors and sequestered rooms. Principally work in the fields of academia or deal with the nation's trade or international relations. Fair enough. The War of Bearings. When we speak of this war, as the story's birth is so deeply intertwined with that of my exile. Began 5 years ago, the betrayal of my brother, who abused his position to siphon and distribute a large portion of the registry's cache of Mascherines to the mask runners. In the years that followed his death, the freshly equipped Mascherines attempted time and again to overthrow the forces that subdued them, the registry mainly, though their efforts seemed mostly in vain now that their passionate leader had perished. To the best of my knowledge, the efforts of the civil war yielded little result but death. Mostly of Mascherines are now 5 years later. Just as my exile has seemingly come to an end, so too seems the war to be petering out. Well, this appears to be a transparent lie, given that they are capable of taking over an entire district of the city.
Mariner, you're a strong man, aren't you? If you could give this a little tug.
It wasn't secured.
I wonder why. Come on.
Things I do for you, brother.
It seems very easy to get into this enemy-held territory.
Closed it behind you?
I did. What is going on in that head of yours?
Anytime wards have been taken over in the last 50 years, it's been through frontal assaults. Nobody thinks about drains.
Apparently these people don't play D&D.
Rather interesting place for mists.
All over the city. This has been an increasingly common sight.
Everywhere.
Sometimes even in the streets.
I assume we're going to end up in a fight in here. You don't have a sewer section without a fight.
your backs.
Right, well, I'm happy with that. I think we water tag that guy. Okay. Each class has own new weight. I should remember that thing, actually. The spout hound. But I don't think I need it for this.
What are Fae doing here?
You said this mist was becoming more common?
Only in the last few years, yes.
And Fae, have they been more common as well?
You think they're related?
You don't? It's quite a clear connection. The Vigilists probably have something on this. We can ask when we get back, but for now...
We should keep moving.
Bulgia. It's a new culture one. The Fae of sewers and storm drains. Bulgia are often a nuisance the Masquerada have to deal with. They rarely ever venture from beyond the dank tunnels below the city, and they aren't too difficult to dispatch. You just generally stay away because they're gross. Fair enough. There was another thing, I think, that came up. Was it another piece of this, maybe? Oh. I might
The
be
exits
bigger.
to the Quiet Order should be that way.
What are they doing?
Whatever it is, we will have to go through them. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
You got this!
Master powerful skills have been activated to change the tides of battle. Okay. To activate a mask, master was filled using expending skills. You can activate your mask when sufficient charge has been expended. Let's kill the boss, because we can. Three skill points awarded.
Mask runner.
You were right.
Come on, we're almost there.
What if they try to kill us?
Then we defend ourselves. Simple.
Okay. So, more information. Mask runners are often regarded as scoundrels and thieves. Vast majority of them simply doing whatever it takes to eke out a living. And then we've got some power-ups that we can look at doing. So Maestro is a passive skill. You don't have to think about it. Atmos Ring is the healing. Cold Ring rushes water and trail of water, dealing damage. Ice Shackle is a ice spike. So we've got the Spout Hound. So what can I upgrade him to do? Summons one more Spout Hound. Yeah, sounds good. Get 2 Spout Hounds at a time. I've only got 1 skill point remaining, so I don't think I'm going to bother with anything else just now. Colden has 3, so he could do Water Spout Reach, which increases the range. And he's also got an Aura, which gives protection. Increases the... and it recovers focus. What would that do? Increase the range. He doesn't seem to use it much though. I'll give him that. It's a passive skill. Means he always gets it. I don't have to worry about the AI doing things right.
What's wrong?
I am not the lightest person around.
You'll be fine. Come on.
Please. Come on. Damn it. I told you.
Get him!
Okay. So this is how you can change the party behavior.
Get behind me.
So this red is, I don't know what that's about, but it's something. Somebody's planning something.
Around in all that blue, we don't stand a chance.
What do you...
This one's got wide hips. His trousers should suffice.
His shirt isn't even going to cover half my chest.
Point?
Oh, fine.
Impressive tattoo. Hadn't thought you'd be the type.
Yeah. Thanks.
What's it about?
Are you here to investigate me or my brother?
Come on.
Two different ways forward, it'll appear. Something we need to know down here.
Is that?
A masquerine? Ages. You must have missed it under all this filth.
And it's raw.
We'll have to find an Artigiani and Fabra to help us touch it up. We can't be seen walking around with it like this.
You intend on keeping it?
Well, I won't tell the registry as long as you don't.
All right then.
So, raw masquerine acquired. So this allows us obviously to switch between different masquerines over time, but we need to decorate it first. That is obviously... So there's two things you have to do basically to finish this off. Clear that out, and then you've got to also go here and do whatever this is.
They must have heard us from here.
There's enough food to last them weeks.
An outpost.
See what you can find.
I don't understand all the wards why this one. I've heard all of it has a softies, it isn't defensible, and it's so close to Damn White Spire. They said the Herald wanted this place, specifically. I don't know why. I asked, but Matteo wouldn't tell me, and I don't know enough about the Herald to guess either. I just know the Herald wanted this ward real bad.
Anything interesting?
Whoever wrote this talks about a figure called the Herald.
I found this too.
Wait for the Herald's command, nothing else.
Herald?
I don't know. I've never heard of him before.
Then he must be new.
Or I might not be as knowledgeable about the Mascherines as everyone in this damn city seems to think. There doesn't seem to be anything left for us.
So there's a figure called the Herald, but I don't know anything about him. That's true, but probably not all that useful. So Mascherines did not always look the way they do now. First Mascherines that was covered seemed to be made of white plaster and had none of the embellishments of present today. In order to better distinguish Mascherines one good from another, the practices of the visiva in the individual guilds beyond the practice of ornamenting Mascherines. This practice persists today, and seeing a raw Masquerine is incredibly rare. Vital importance in combat are mask ultimate abilities, which are powerful abilities have potential to tilt the battle in your favour. They function the same way as normal abilities, but considered more powerful and should be used with discretion. The default button to select an ability is Q. They don't expend mask charge. They're used up by using other skills. They're created charge by using other skills. Only once the mask charge is being expended can the mask ultimate ability be used. Throughout the game, you'll encounter Mascherines you'll be able to equip different Mascherines, bring up the mask menu with the M key. There you'll be able to view all the Mascherines you've collected, as well as their abilities. Equipping new Mascherines is a two-step process. However, a raw Mascherine must first be found, and then it must be decorated for equip. To equip a Mascherine, either double-click on it in the mask menu or select it and press the Equip Mask button under its description. The game does a pretty good job of introducing new concepts a bit at a time. The tutorial was sometimes a little bit slow about telling you how to do stuff, I thought, but since then it's been pretty good.
This one had better hold.
Yes, it had.
All right, we're in. Now what?
Now we look for our glassmith. We should start with the central marketplace. I think it's through that corridor.
So we'll have a look at the... So this is party behaviour. So you can set Cicero. Disable AI control, mass threshold charge, water spout, that's his signature attack. Masks, skills. So he's only got 2 skills, so you can basically just set when people use these things. So, you know, cast on self when below any of these, cast on... Cool. Very small little area.
Color-coded?
Green for produce, red for smithing, teal for leatherwork.
And glassware?
Yellow.
Okay, so that tells us something we need to know.
Looks like our glassmith's taken off.
Hopefully he left something for us to find.
What are you thinking of?
Orders, receipts, anything that might flesh out his connection with Raz.
I'll keep an eye out.
I found something.
What is it?
An order for 100 glass bell jars.
Who signed it?
Raz himself. His signature is... Hey! Fine day, fellas.
Aren't you supposed to be... the gate?
Damn.
Too close.
Indeed. We should hurry. The order he placed for the jars was supposed to be delivered to a house up that street.
They're in a hurry.
Something must have happened at the gate. We should keep moving.
Marco? Marco, we're supposed to be...
Oh no.
You're... Get them!
Hold your... ground!
We don't have time. Come on.
We're wrecking a lot of Mascherines in the course of this war. Gee,
Tides.
More searching, less cursing, Mariner.
I think the big trails of blood are probably a hint that we should go this way.
So here lies our shipment.
But what was he using them for?
It had something to do with that Fey in his office, definitely. Other than that, though... Woundsbane. My mother's favorite.
Oh?
It's a natural disinfectant. She applied it a lot when I was a child.
So, you're one of those kids.
You'd want to hear the stories. This fights for a dozen a week.
You and who?
Well, mostly with... I don't know. People.
His brother, in other words.
Forget it.
Shredded paper. They're all clean, too.
Paper. Just like what the Fae were made of back in his office. There.
I don't understand.
The blood.
There's blood elsewhere as well.
Well, look at the pattern. That blood was dripped, not spattered or spilt like the rest.
What do you say?
This
is
blood
deliberate.
here, in this circle, it was shed deliberately. The only question is, what for?
Blood magic.
What are you doing?
You're a decent healer, aren't you, Mariner?
I'd like to think so. What? Tides? What?
Don't mend it yet.
What are you testing, Inspectore?
What happens when we...
All right, Mariner. Now would be a good time. My palm, Mariner.
Did we just...
Heal me, Calden.
I've got you.
It's a little bit annoying that when you choose to use a power as your first attack, it doesn't continue to just attack. Hey, skill points again.
I can't believe it. We just summoned Fae. No one else in the entire city knows how to, do they? Tides? How did my brother even...
It doesn't make sense.
What?
The blood. Too much spilt in too many directions. There was a fight. People.
I'm not sure that...
A fight in a place like this? Coincidence? Highly unlikely. There was a purpose behind this bloodshed.
What?
Unlikely to kill. To capture them. Incapacitate.
You think someone's taken my brother?
And left this place standing. Blood dried, evidence strewn around. Why? Why would they do that?
Because they want us to follow it.
All right, Renia. We...
Don't. Your child is wounded.
Don't listen to him, Renia.
The Mariner is a healer. It may not be too late.
Please.
Masquerine off. I'm not asking again.
Olas, please. If he meant to kill us, we would not be standing.
Answer my questions and the Mariner will tend to the child.
Anything, please.
When you claimed this ward, was there a man who owned this house?
We saw the herald leave here carrying a body. It's how I thought it was empty.
Was he alive?
He was struggling when I saw it.
Then they have him.
Calden, tend to the child. Who is this herald?
Our leader, who speaks on behalf of the lady.
The lady?
She's lost much blood, but she will survive.
Thank you. Lady bless you, thank you.
Who is this lady?
It's locked. Move aside.
Portieri! Calden, cover their necks in the blood.
What?
Do it! Get down!
Inspectore. Senency of Vitris, sir. I see the old Cicero Gavar has not forgotten how to defend himself.
We're fine.
We were given orders to bring you to the Valencio, sir. I'll await you outside.
I was about to say it's fortunate they recognised us, but they were looking for us.
Thank you.
I think that's the first, truly moral thing I've seen our character do. Goodness me. Investigating Timurius led us to a house in which Razatov had been conducting experiments. He'd learned how to summon Fae. I suspect the mists that have become more abundant in the city has something to do with this. How he came into possession of such knowledge, what he intended to do with all the Fae is beyond me. Well, that would be a powerful weapon. I do know, however, that the Vegelus would be most interested in the info. There's yet to be anyone in the city who's claimed understanding the birthing of Fae. Perhaps while I visit them in the Kosasenska, I will learn more about what Razatov had been searching for there as well. Hopefully they'll lead me to understand what all the legacy of the Mask Runners could possibly want with him. In the house of the experiments, Cold and I arranged a family of Mask Runners who admitted the Mask Runners captured Razatov. This is not enough information to work off of. They're a large faction. Infiltrating Rex would take too long. Besides, I'm not welcome there in the least. They'd likely choose to kill me over giving me the time of the day. Going to the Mask Runners is not an option. Or is it? My brother never mentioned anything about the herald or this lady that seems to be the spokesman of, but I suppose that should not be surprising. My brother left a power void in his wake that others must have rushed to fill. What happened to Lysandra Rorik, my brother's second in command? Well, I mean, there's the lady. Cannot come to be an expert of all things related to Mask Runners. I do find it something. It's the first time hearing of this lady. She must be a recent occurrence, which makes the command that she has over the Mask Runners even more surprising.
Sinencia, just a quick word. How did you get in?
After you left, the Valencio ordered a couple of us to follow you. He knew you'd turn up something.
Damn it, Tristan.
There!
Apparently I can't get at this guy. There's just no room. Is there another enemy? Is that why that guy ran off? Nope. Okay. Ah.
Come on, sir. The Valencio's in the marketplace.
Here they come.
I should remember I've got all those skill points still. Where's the boss? This way. Okay, before I talk to you, let's level up. I like the idea of getting that passive ability boost. What's that? Increases the strike range of my water blade by 15 meters for 2. I believe I've got 3 skill points. The Bloodhound, whenever it attacks, we get healing. Increases the damage. Whenever it takes damage, I take it. No. I want that upgrade. Right. He's got 5. Well, let's do that. What's this? Well, I've got water tag, so that's always going to come in handy.
Valencio.
How are the other sections?
Majority have returned successful. Minimal casualties.
The Herald?
No sign. However, we do expect to wrest full control of the ward within the hour.
You followed me without my consent.
Sinencia, you are dismissed. It is good to see you as well, Cicero.
You used me.
Cicero, please.
I did not come back for this. Why do you think I didn't tell you?
I am sorry. I truly am. But if I had asked you to help us find another way in, you wouldn't have.
So you acted behind my back? Used me to kill my brother's people?
They have killed so many of ours. This sends a message, Cicero. A message that could potentially end the war.
At what cost?
I am not made of stone. I have a heart. But it goes out to my kin and blood before their murderers. And if performing my duties requires me to step over your ideals, I am sorry. I know you see your brother in them. I understand how...
You understand nothing.
I'm a grumpy cuss.
Sinencia, get the Inspector and his companion their attires, please. I know it may not mean much, but I am sorry.
But you would do it again.
Yes.
And that word was cuss, by the way.
Inspectore.
New chapter reached. Act 1. Paper
We'll
Hearts.
be here if you need us, sir.
Thank you.
Masquerada who practice Marabosto alone are called Paveseri, and practice a type of dance that involves strong, bold, contained movements. The Paveseri, among all the Masquerada, have the ability to brand the largest volume of their element at any one time, and their abilities reflect this. Earth brand, Paveseri, have the ability to summon walls of earth. Airbrand Paveseri can channel pounding blasts of wind. With the raw strength and power comes the price, however. Almost never able to control their elements with precision.
I'm sorry about what happened earlier.
Don't be. You're here to find your brother, not deal with my demons.
If you ever need help,
A generous offer, but I knew what I was in for when I returned.
then why did you?
Did you know Vestus promised me enough crescents to last a lifetime if I came back?
So you're back for coin?
Come on. We should speak with Kyrie. Hopefully she can tell us more about the Fae.
Avoiding the question there.
So what's the plan exactly?
We need to find out what Razatov was doing with the Fae. If anyone could tell us more.
It would be the head researcher of the registry.
This is for you, sir.
What is this?
A set of uniform. The Varone wishes for you to change into them, then meet him in the reception hall. We've a room for your privacy just over there.
Dismissed. Just a moment.
I'll be here. It fits.
I hate it.
Why?
Well, forget it. Now come on, Avestus.
Listen, Cicero. I can see that this search for my brother has brought you to dark places.
I hope you know I'm not doing this for you.
I never thought you were, but I'd like to aid you where I can.
Ah, we're on the same page then. You can start by not asking so many questions.
Oh, wait.
Now, hurry
Kind
along.
of a jerk.
Why do you hate it?
Please, Mariner.
It's just a question.
Because this symbolizes everything about me that my brother would disapprove of. And I am wearing it. Satisfied?
Quite.
You'd better be. Now come along.
Goodness me. Lots of stuff. So... it's about creating Fae. Inspectori's cape is their signature. Only 7 in the city bear such capes. They're not easy to come by. They're woven from Tesseric silk, covered with Elysian dye, stitched with Zoric thread, stuffed with runic wool, and worn by Ombrian flesh. Mariner seems to believe he can somehow help me. What does he think of himself to be? A counsellor? I don't want to encourage this behaviour. My past is past, and bringing it up is bound to do no one good. He seems genuine and sincere about his efforts, though, as much as I'd rather he weren't. In that respect, I suppose he does remind me of Razatov. I am a grumpy, grumpy person. I should not be upset about what Tristan did. I've known him for so long, I know where his allegiances lie, yet how little sway reason has over the heart. I'm hurt by his actions despite understanding them. It is a reminder that even the best parts of the city, the parts you hold close to your heart, have the capacity to hurt you.
So many portieri. Makes me uncomfortable.
Tragic circumstances, truly.
Certainly. And it is the responsibility of the Samora to offer support where we can.
And the registry is ever so grateful. And there he is.
Judge Master, Barone, I apologize if I've interrupted something.
Not at all, Inspectore. In fact, I was hoping to see you personally to deliver the news.
You're getting another companion.
Should I be frightened?
Inspectore, meet Tiziana de Felici, one of my finest marshals. The moment I heard you'd return, I understood that the White Spire must have been on hot coals.
And the Judge Master was ever so generous to lend the Lucas strength to our cause.
In what fashion?
The Marshal will be assisting us in the investigation.
You've told her about it?
Of course. For the sake of our kin, we must set aside our differences, Cicero. But my words are wasted. I can see that you already understand.
So the Sorelli is part of the investigation as well?
I'm just here to...
As Razatov's brother, of course. As I said, finding him is reason enough to overlook the schism between the Samora and the Registry.
That is good to hear. I will admit that I am pleased. Surprised, but pleased. That the pride many scorn the Registry for having has not clouded your judgment.
And I say gratefully the same. That the fallacious arrogance of the Luca hasn't stopped you from stooping to assist us.
Well, if that is all, I'd like a final word with my marshal before she joins you.
Take as much time as you need.
Stay here.
There are some men that are satisfied with the status quo, content with their place in society. And then there are men like Fabio, visionaries who have the dream of their people who sacrifice for the sake of progress. Throughout my career as Inspectore, I haven't often been required to interact with the leader of the Luca Infinita, but all the times I have, nothing short of impressed with his efficiency, his determination, and his focus. Now he comes into the picture once again. I'm reminded that he's in possession of so much more than just a powerful will. He's a man of cunning and wit, He will stop at little to do what he believes is best for his people and for his guild. All I can hope for is, as I continue the investigation, is I manage to stay out of his way. That does not seem very likely.
I never liked politics.
Cunning bastard.
What are they talking about?
How best to spy on us, I'm sure.
You think he's... Did Fabio tell the Crown about this meeting?
And share the opportunity to get the upper hand? I doubt it.
Then he's cornered you, hasn't he? If you turn down his offer for help, he'll have reason to bring it up to the Crown.
Citing my dissidence as reason for suspicion that I'm hiding something.
They'll conduct an investigation.
And they'll find out about Razatov and what he's working on.
Just what you want to avoid.
And if I do accept his help...
Then you'll have a spy among your ranks. But, given the choice between one rat from the Luca or the attention of the Crown...
He knows that I will not act against him.
Unbelievable. Any plans on dealing with this?
Other than keeping her out of the loop as much as possible. Perhaps an accident.
Lay a finger on her and a dozen more of the Golden Guild will be nipping at our heels. You know that.
I've always wondered how different things might have been if I'd made you a regente.
I may hate the beat of the city's politics, but it doesn't mean that I don't know how to dance to it.
Really? Because I don't think dragging along extra colours is in any way politically astute.
The Mariner is hiding something, and it might be connected to his brother's disappearance. You brought me back to do a job. Let me do it.
I apologize for the delay. Tiziana is ready to assist whenever you are.
That would be now. We're on the way to meet the head vigilus. Marshal, shall we?
Certainly.
Would you care for a walk, Judge Master? I believe there are a few trade routes that Diece have set up that might be of interest to you.
A walk sounds magnificent, Verone. Thank you.
Amused how they were wandering around with swords over their shoulders. So we've got some J's and some L's. The case just seems to be going bigger and bigger. First remember the Blue Guild tags along, and now we're done with a spy from the Golden Guild. Whatever it is, we must press on. We're headed to speak with the head vigilus, Kara Aquila, who will hopefully put us on the path that Razatov have been on, as well as telling us more about the Fae. And now I have a spy amidst my ranks. Perfect. There's nothing I hold against this woman personally. She's simply performing her duty, but that does not mean she's any more welcome. Getting rid of her does not seem to be a viable avenue of dealing with her presence. Perhaps I should start with learning how much she knows. There's allegedly a gameplay one I haven't clicked on, but I don't see one down there. Luca Infinite, or the Golden Guild, is a source of ire for men in the city. Their strict laws and martial influence are often deemed suffocating, and where once the men and women in gold were respected, now they're treated with annoyance and even fear. Great. Now, do I have her as a character? I do. She'd probably have points to spend. She does. So let's see what she's got. So she's got Pommel Strike, which strikes an enemy for 15 damage, and Blazing Bulwark, which destroys incoming projectiles. Enemies between her and the shield suffer 5 burn damage per second. Sounds pretty good. Fire Wave, 6 Flaming Bolts, Fire Waves, 2 Fireballs that rotate whenever it passes through a damage, does that. Increases shield duration, launches the said shields outwards. Increases shield duration. Increases casting arc. We'll do that. And then we'll probably increase her pommel strike. So base 15 damage activates their elemental tags. Forces them to attack her. Does more damage. After casting, may cast it again for free within 3 seconds. Sounds good. What's her party behavior? Cast enemy with any elemental tags. Let's just try to kill people. I feel like that's my best choice. Cool. Okay, well I think we'll go and...
Marshal, how much of the case have you been briefed about exactly?
Enough.
You have no questions that you'd like answered?
Inspectore, if you're attempting to goad out of me the extent of my knowledge about this case so that you can use it against me, I suggest you try a different tactic.
Ouch.
As I was going to say, we'll just do this bit, I think, and then we'll call it for now.
So let me get this straight, Marshal. You believe that I'm out to con you?
I do not dance the dance of politics, so I will be straightforward with you. Yes. You being called back is a sign that secrets are being stirred. I know you're keeping something from me, as the registry is keeping something from my guild, and I'm here to find out what. Is that straight enough for you, Inspectore?
Surprisingly so.
So you're here to spy on us?
You've never dipped your fingers in the pool of politics, have you?
Too bloody for my tastes.
Well, the Inspectore knows what's going on as well as I do, and that's all that matters. Now, if we're done wasting time...
Well, she's fun. I'm sure we're going to get along great. Conoscenza. Home to the city's second largest collection of written histories, contains volume upon volume of information on topics ranged from botany to Dementicate history.
Never thought I'd ever see the insides of this place. The registry's always so stiff about sharing.
Just remember, we're here for Kyrie, not for sightseeing.
Of course. Lead on.
Oh, blood.
Trouble?
The silence is too deep here. Usually there are...
Watch yourselves!
Get them!
Rough tide's coming.
Okay, I can't get it in, so I'll get it instead.
What are you doing?
It is customary for portieri to stitch insignias of some sort. These have none, and they are poorly fitted.
Mascherines.
Nothing, just a thought.
A thought?
Don't bother yourself with it.
Inspectore, allow me to make something clear to you. There are two ways that this can go. The first, if you pay me with respect and honesty regarding the case, I will offer my full assistance. And as I have just demonstrated, I can be useful.
Do I want to hear the second?
If you attempt to blind me with lies and fabrications, I can make this investigation very difficult for you, as I have also just proven.
Are you threatening me?
I'm presenting options.
Fabio put you up to this, didn't he?
On the contrary, the Judge Master would be especially displeased, I imagine, with my forthrightness.
Yet you are unashamed to admit it.
The veils of deception set aflame, to the mask of lies do the same.
A song?
The bright chorus. It had once been the moral compass for the Luca. That was a verse from it. No one sings them anymore.
Make your choice, Inspectore. The wick of time is ever burning.
I suspect these are Mascherines.
Why?
Just before this, we found evidence that has led us to believe that they have taken Razatov captive.
What would they want with him?
He was creating Fae.
What?
I don't know why or how he knows how to, but he was. And now the Mascherines have him.
You believe they're after the head Vegelus as well?
If she knows about this, then perhaps.
I see. You chose well. Inspetore.
Don't make me regret it. Now come on. If those men were guarding the entrance, Kyrie's still somewhere here.
Fascinating. I never before someone City this at once so immersed in the dance of politics, yet so insolent towards its customs. She's a pawn in the grand game and she knows it. She refuses to play by the unspoken rules. She seems to loathe secrecy. She does away with any hint of deception. Perhaps most gravely, she trumpets her motivation with every hint of embarrassment. Granted, I might be reading her wrong, or perhaps she's lying about her true goals, but I don't find that likely. How am I supposed to do with this honest enigma woman who's currently beyond me, but I'm equal parts cautious and curious about her presence? She does seem an odd choice for that other guy to send, but... Enemy?
So the storm begins.
He'd be dead. Not too worried about reading about the calendar right now. I'm supposed to be trying to find somebody and save her. So, you know, let's do that.
Remember, if you lie to me again, another one of your dogs will die. You've cost one of them his life already. You don't want another on your hands, do you?
No.
Good. Now, let me repeat the call numbers again. And this time, I don't expect you to say that they don't exist, all right?
Yes.
The first, DF328D439KL3. The second, DT8548172PG6. The third, DP.
Shouldn't we interrupt?
What's going on, Cicero?
They're looking for specific books. Resatov must have had something to do with this.
Well, best to act while we have the element of surprise.
That seems sensible.
Wait, Tiziana!
No, I'm on Tiziana's side.
Them! Justice! Or blind you! I told you. You chose well.
Unbind the Vegelis. Calden, see if they need healing.
Ages. Thank you, Cicero.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine. What are you doing here?
Actually, we were here for answers, but it seems that all we found are questions instead. He was asking you about books?
If only he just asked. Capturing all my Vegelis like this, a tad over-dramatic, I'd say.
Why did he want them?
I don't know. I do remember their call numbers, though.
We should get them ourselves then. See if...
Are those...
Well, that's a bit annoying.
I knew the Fae problem was bad, but even here...
It's related to why we came to find you, actually.
The Fae?
This is not the first of its kind that I've encountered, and I have a theory as to how and where they're spawning.
I'm all ears.
One thing at a time. I'll tell you what we've learned about the Fae after we get the books, if that's all right with you.
As much as I'd like to know now, I suppose my curiosity can wait. I can bring you to the books they were looking for, but they took all our Mascherines, tossed them to the lower levels. If there are more Fae out there...
We'll handle them.
The wounded have been healed.
And they're all cut loose.
Then let's go. We'll find the books and clear a way for the Vigilus as well.
Right, so Vigilus are the thinkers. Knowledge is power, but they're generally overlooked. It's a bit about the calendar, and then we've got people, so we've got more about Tiziani. One of the benefits of having a trail along is her prowess in battle. I shouldn't be surprised, given she's a marshal of the most martial of the Samora. She's effectively coerced me into telling her about details regarding the investigation, coming to defeat with narrow drop of guile. And there is that point about the bright chorus. She knows it by heart clear, and that is confusing. There are very few in the Luca who still believe in the bright chorus. Many believe its tenets outdated and impractical, and judging by trust in the institution of Luca, I'd have thought she'd be one of them, and yet here she is quoting it. If there is a search for parable of how doggedness pays off, the story of Carriaccia would be a fine candidate. Born of two portieri, her life has been paved. It's not been paved with the intention of guiding towards academia. In fact, her parents had intended for her to rise through the ranks of portieri and hopefully be elected as an inspettori. Both her parents were trained in their respective media for the Vamus tests and taught her the history of Ombre for her accreditor. What they hadn't expected from their daughter, however, was for intense curiosity regarding the history of the world. When her parents would give her a summary of the herald, she would go and ask about the entirety of Rune and its culture. Blah, blah, blah. Focus on practicing her media, her parents would say, and during her youth she'd obey. All this changed when the age of 18 she sat for a Vamus test and failed them. Parents were furious. It was impossible they'd failed the watch over the treatment of Hawks. How could she done so poorly? They launched later that she'd intentionally flunked the tests of media proficiency. She didn't want to be a portieri, she wanted to be Vigilus. She told the testers first, then her parents. Upon seeing the foreigner eyes as she spoke to her parents realised that there was something special about their daughter. They realised they no longer control her, and they had to let her go. Given her current position in the registry, that was a move that benefited them all. Okay, I'm going to call it there for the day. Seems like a fairly good place to break off. We'll go and find some books next time. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Yes, I do want to return to the main menu. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll be back probably in a week to play more.